Push the button. Let's tweet it out. Let's
The
have a tweet of the day.
tweet of the day. The
One.
the button is pushed. We are live to recap quarters. I am talking what I am typing because I am putting it up on Facebook and Twitter. We are live to recap quarters and preview semis. And guys, I tweeted out that Willie and I are limping into this show. We are limping into this show because while we are not competing, we are still the men in the arena this weekend. And Willie and I have been on FaceTime. We've also been yelling at each other. We've been cussing at each other, doing what friends do. And we have said that, like, I have done nothing since noon but watch wrestling, and I feel like I missed 60% of what happened. It's crazy. Only day 2 of the NCAAs can you be staring at it nonstop and feel like you missed at least 40% of it.
I was talking to there's a guy named Brian Tucker. He coached at some lower divisions in college, and he was on some cadet or junior world team coaching staffs, and I got to know him. I got to buddy up with him, and he left his job and then didn't work in wrestling for like a year or two, and he's a great guy. You can follow him on Twitter, but he moved and he was looking for jobs, and North Carolina had an opening for like director of ops, I think, and he applied for that, and I talked to Tony Ramos and put in a word, and I'm not saying he got the job because of me, but I said, hey, look at this guy, he's good. But he got hired there. Anyway, he DM'd me. He's like, hey, just letting you know I'm thinking about you. Wonder it's probably different watching at home. And I said, yeah, man, I miss it. And he said, when I don't go, I feel like I'm missing out and missing on being around it and all. And he goes, when I do go, I wish I was at home watching.
Yeah.
There's two different things to it,
It's crazy, and we love making these shows. We're previewing, recapping every rounds. We're putting out stats. We're tracking it. I feel like this is going to be one of those things where, in chat, hit us with your storylines and hit us because if there's anything we missed. We were watching the Blood Round. Obviously, Lions Fan 95, 1999 Super Chat. Keep up the awesome content. Appreciate all the shows. Appreciate you, Lions Fan 95. We're going through it right now with just trying to keep up with every storyline, and there's going to be so many through the night, through tomorrow. It's funny, like even Willie and I are going back from like last year, looking at storylines, and Huskers go 12-1 in session 3, and Penn State 10 All-Americans. It's crazy watching it all. So trying to keep up with everything. Today's show, we're going to do this on this stream. We're going to recap the quarters and preview the semis. We're going to look at the Blood Round as we go weight by weight. We're also going to talk the team situation as we go through it. I mean, I guess right off the top, I can do a quick team synopsis with Session 3 in the book. Penn State out in front with 105.5 points. 8 in the quarterfinals. Penn State went 8 for 8 in the quarterfinals, Willie.
Unbelievable. You know what? And there's the whole thing about the Penn State fatigue. And there's a lot that goes on with that. But one thing that's really real is that Penn State goes 8 for 8 in the freaking quarterfinals. They put 8 guys in semifinals. And there's not a peep about it. If this was pre this current dynasty, people would be losing their minds. This would be like it is an all-time performance. But that's what everybody would be talking about. They went 8 for 8, and it's like, yeah. Yep.
I know, it's crazy. Real quick, Beach JOH1 in the chat. Is there an updated bracket? Yes, I told you after each round I will post it. Baschamania.com/brackets. Baschamania.com/brackets. It's also in the description of this video right now. Go get updated brackets PDF after session 3. So Penn State out in front with 105.5, 8 in the quarterfinals. Nebraska, Willie's Huskers, in second place with 66 points. They have 5 in the quarters, 3 in the consies. Oklahoma State with 5 in the quarters, 3 in the concees. Iowa in fourth with 3 in the quarters, 6 in the blood round. And Willie, somebody was tweeting me like, can we finally get some praise for Iowa? And I said, listen, I did the good, the bad, and the ugly this morning. Iowa was in the good. And again, they had a good round. They have 3 in the semis tonight. And again, we talked this morning that they were big underdogs in some of these. So these weren't just like quarterfinals they were supposed to win. They were underdogs, and they got some good wins, most notably Angelo Ferrari beating Sinclair, which we'll talk to when we get to 184. And they got 6 alive in the blood round. So Iowa currently, they haven't been scoring a lot of bonus, which is why they're down in 4th place with 50.5. But 9 alive to All-American. We got Gabe Arnold going for All-American tonight, which we'll talk about when we get to 97. And then Ohio State continues to not be having a good tournament. Ohio State in 5th place with only 44 points, 2 in the semis, 4 alive in the concees. Michigan in 6th. Let me actually pull this up on screen real quick. I'm going to pull up the top 15 because my friend here, William, had a great tweet earlier that did not get...
I did?
You had a great tweet that did not get mentioned. Let me see if it's this. See if it's this one.
Hey, by the way, side note, while Justin is looking this up, semifinal odds are posted on Bet Online. How about that?
So I just put this over my face so that Willie can talk about it because he gets. I got to give him credit for this tweet.
What?
Willie reminded us today. It's the first time I've heard about this, or I've been reminded about this. Don't forget, top 10 qualify for national duels. So when you're looking at 11, 12, 13, 14, and while the big headline is podium and chasing the trophies, let's not forget that 8, 9, 10, very important because you auto-qualify for an invite for national duels.
Yeah, I actually, I had the light bulb went on and I'm like, oh yeah, there's spots for NDI on the line. And so I actually called Matt Serber, a great human being, a great guy, longtime coach of Tuttle, Oklahoma. Does a lot for Oklahoma wrestling in Oklahoma. His son was Luke Serber, who was the Pokes heavyweight in '97 the last couple of years. But so he runs the NDI. He's like the chairperson of it, and so or the tournament director. So. Light bulb went on. I'm like, what's going on the NDI? I know there's spots based on performance. So I call him up and say, hey, how many exactly are we doing this year? And he said 10. Top 10 get in. Top 10 and the top 4. Here's the auto bids or auto invites. They got to accept it. But the top 4 finishers from this year at NDI. So that would be, and I think they overlap. I think they're the same teams because it's Iowa, Ohio State, Nebraska, and Oklahoma State. Is that the top 4?
Ohio State won it. Iowa was runner-ups, and then who took 3rd? Oklahoma State took 3rd. Nebraska took 4th.
Right. So they're auto qualifiers from that. And then auto qualifiers from this is the top 10. Now, there's more teams that get in, but they're like at large. And
so top 10 not including those 4? So, for example...
Nope. They double up.
So if it overlaps, they're stealing a spot, essentially.
Yep.
So to speak, yeah. Oh, why am I video not there? All right, so that's the team picture. An insane performance by Penn State to go 8 for 8 in the quarters. Braden Davis and Cole Marasola both lost. Davis lost to Composto. Marasola lost to Christian Carroll, second time this year. So they're out. So Penn State will not repeat with 10 All-Americans, a feat they did last year, only the second time in history, the first being Minnesota. So that's the team picture. Let's go. By the way, brackets, I think I said it, but baschamania.com/brackets for updated brackets. Willie, I don't know about you. I got to look at my brackets real quick. Did we keep score? I don't think we did. I'll have to do it after.
We could do it live
Let
during
me
the
go grab my
show.
brackets real quick.
We can count them up because there's only 4 correct picks per weight. One thing for the NDI that's neat to me is that when you're looking at top tens that could get in, Iowa State didn't get in last year because they had all those injuries and they medical redshirted or sat some of their guys, so they didn't get in last year. But here's the new teams that would get in. All the top 10 are all the same except for Iowa State would get in, Stanford, and this is if they remain in the top 10. They could get past, but Iowa State would get in, and they would be new. Stanford would get in, and they would be new. Wyoming currently is in 10th, and they would be new, but they're only up by 1.5 over NC State. I'm not sure exactly what NC State has. Wyoming has 3 in the blood round and 1 in the semifinals. So
Wyoming having a sneaky good round.
sneaky good round, and not for nothing. That the good news is they're having a really good round. The bad news kind of is, what if they still had Volk? If they still had Volk, they'd have half their team top 12, which is amazing.
I know, but you can't start doing the. I've seen some transitive. I've seen some transitive properties like wish this guy, and I get it. It's just a dangerous, slippery slope. But Mark Branch should get a lot of credit. I mean, what he's doing there is awesome. So, all right, Willie, let's go through weight by weight, and then
weight by weight. We'll do weight by weight, and then maybe some odds.
Yeah, we can pull up the odds. I don't know when they're going to take those down. I tweeted them out. I put them on Facebook. So if you don't want to wait or you want to look at them while we talk, I put them on Facebook.com/Baschamania, Twitter.com/JustinJBash. I posted them both there. All right, let's go weight by weight. At 125 pounds, your semifinalist, Luke Lillidahl, beats Dean Peterson for the 3rd time this year in overtime. Dean kind of did... He really pushed hard, but then got to overtime, and he kind of coasted a little bit. I thought Luke gets the win in overtime. Troy Spratley over Sheldon Seymour. That was one that I initially picked where I had both quarterfinals, and I got wrong. I picked Seymour. I have 1 out of 4, Willie, correct at this weight. 1 out of 4.
I only had 1 as well. I had Lillidahl. I didn't have Spratley. I had V-Rob there. No,
I had Seymour over Spratley there.
I think I had V-Rob. I might have had Seymour. Either way, I didn't have Spratley. I had Lillidahl right, and then there's Spratley. Moran beat Volk. Moran beat Volk and Bouzakis. He looks great. He's not just squeaking by either. He's putting up points.
He is, and then Mark Anthony McGowan. He looked great.
What a huge set of guts on him. I mean, it goes to
big balls, big balls,
big brass balls. It goes to sudden victory or overtime rideouts, and he gets a 3rd caution, and it's a point. So now he's really super in the hole, and he still manages to ride out, and he gets a win. Just tremendous. Happy for Joe Dubuque and the guys at Princeton to get a finalist.
Willie, a 10,
a very unlikely semi.
A 10. I was just gonna say a 10 versus a 14 down there on the bottom side, and it's so fitting because this weight's been chaos all year, and it's funny because 149 kind of the same thing with double digits in the semis. Actually, I think 3 out of the 4 maybe, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, so it's Jacob Moran up top against McGowan on the bottom of that semi. I shouldn't really say top, but Lillidahl, Spratley up top. Penn State, Oklahoma State. That's going to be awesome. I don't believe Lillidahl and Spratley have ever met before. So a very fun semi up top. Moran versus McGowan on the bottom side. And because we're going weight by weight and we have brackets, again, bashmania.com/brackets to go get updated brackets. Let's run through the blood round real quick to AA tonight. Tonight is the greatest night of wrestling in America. It is.
America.
You don't just have the semis. You have the dog bone. You have the blood round. And Blood round simply means this: if you win, you All-American, you guarantee 8th place. If you lose, you're going home, and you don't AA. Blood round tonight at 125 pounds. Nico Provo of Stanford against Sheldon Seymour of Lehigh. A 7 versus a 4 there. Tyler Klinsky got a big pin. Shout out Willie. Tyler Klinsky got a big pin over Nick Bouzakis. He was down 11-8 at the time. Klinsky will have Dean Peterson. A very interesting match there. Vincent Robinson, Eddie Van Treska.
ACC rivalry.
Yep, and then you have Jet Strickenberger, Jory Volk. So an incredible set of blood round matches at 125 pounds.
Yeah, not that I root for anybody, but I really dug my feet in, and I promoted Tyler Klinsky, and I said, I have a feeling about this guy. I think he could go on a run, and I picked him. And when I make off the wall picks, I kind of feel bad if they don't come. I don't feel bad for me. I get a pick wrong. I don't care. But for people watch this and they play their fantasy, and I kind of feel bad if they went with me. So, not that I was rooting for Klinsky to beat Bouzakis, but it makes me feel a little less guilty because he's having a good tournament.
Yeah, it is. And again, with that Dean Peterson-Klinsky match, Iowa's the only team right now with 9 alive. Penn State has 8 in the semifinals, which is bananas. They historically do pretty good. But still, that Peterson match, Iowa having 9 alive heading in tonight is awesome. And for the people who want us to give Iowa an attaboys, to give Iowa praise, there it is. Listen, Iowa deserves all the credit for their performance today. So 125 is going to be awesome. If I had to make picks for the semis, I'm going Lillidahl up top. I think he grits out a win over Spratley, but I do think it's going to be close. And then Willie, I don't know how to pick Moran versus McGowan. Both are just wrestling lights out. Both are having an incredible tournament. What do you lean there?
Here's the thing. Every time I see Mark Anthony McGowan against anybody, whether it's in a dual meet, a tournament, he scares the daylights out of me because I think he can beat anybody. There was a time, I don't know, some of you that are listening here, everybody listens here is a hardcore college wrestling fan. There was a lesser percentage of you a lot of you follow high school recruiting, but maybe some of you don't. There was a time when Mark Anthony McGowan was like a blue chip neon light. This dude is awesome. And then he took a lot of time off. I think he was injured. His last year in high school wasn't great, and he started wrestling kind of like he had senioritis, and he wrestled like he was just trying to win, barely scrape by. He wasn't his usual active athletic self. And so I think some of the luster faded off. Now last year, I think he only went 1-2 or 2-2, but he damn near had a couple guys beat. I think he almost beat V-Rob, who went on to win the whole thing. And it's really tough to handicap Mark Anthony because he can beat anybody, but he can lose to anybody, and he wrestles really close matches. And I don't know. You got a guy, Mark Anthony McGowan, who just totally manned up. And you know what? That's the difference. That's the difference between last year and this year. Last year, I felt like he might have, when times got tough, he might have caved. When situations really got tough, he wasn't ready to seize it. And this year, in that match, in that quarterfinal, he was all man. I love to see it.
Yeah.
He really got tough.
100%. I don't know who to pick there. Listen, they're both just two dogs. It's going to be a dog fight. I'm rooting for both of them. So I don't really have a pick in there. But, yeah, that's...
I don't really either. I don't know how to handicap that one. Let me go to the chat real quick for two things. One, somebody said on the MacCast we got a shout out. What'd they say? I'd like to know what they said. I didn't hear it. I missed it. I had it on, but I had I had Matt Cast on. I had ESPNU on. I was filling out brackets. I was looking at brackets. I I have a
Where where's the
I
comment?
have a
I heard Shane mention my name one time. Um, I heard Shane mention my graphic that talked about D1 wrestling having 70 schools in wrestling, or wrestling having 70 schools and basketball having 68. I heard that. If there was another reference, I'm not sure. Um,
yeah.
but I heard that one. If there was
Let
another
me
one, let us know.
let us know what they said. They said we got a shout out, and then the second one, somebody said a table worker passed out. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of scary. That was in the. It's why the Ryder. Who did Ryder wrestle in the Bullock? Ryder, Jaden Bullock, I think. It was during their their Consi match. A table worker passed out. Very scary. They stopped the match
Really?
temporarily while they dealt with that. So yeah, that was scary. I hope they're okay. Listen, working this tournament is a gauntlet. Working it there, working at home, your head's on a swivel. I have much respect for every single person working this tournament, from the content creators to the refs to the table workers to everybody involved. It's the greatest tournament on earth, and there's a lot of moving components. So, all right, Willie, that's 125 pounds. Let's move on to 133. Oh,
One last thing here. The
yeah.
Dean Klinsky match. They're both seniors. They both never AA'd. They're both from the same part of
Wow.
Jersey. Oh, it's tough.
Wow.
Tough. 133, run it down for us, JB.
133 pounds. Jax Forrest against Aaron Seidel in a rematch up top. Jax Forrest is just rolling. Maybe the most electric wrestler right now in college. He has pin tech tech. And then you have Aaron Seidel, tech tech tech, I believe. So you have Jax Seidel rematch. That was a 10-9 or 11-10 match, Jax, about a month ago.
Yeah,
Seidel.
two takedowns for Seidel, one for Jax, but Jax had that big play.
Three takedowns for Seidel. It was a 3-1 in the takedown ratio that Seidel won, but Jax got back points, won the match. That's electric. Down in the bottom, Blaze beats Ayala again, who Drake's having a great tournament. And then Davino put it on Bird.
Early, too.
What was that score? That score is 14-5. Davino majored Bird. Blaze got a close one over Drake. It was 5-3. So
It's going to be really interesting. You know, it came to ride outs the last two times this year, and it's going to be interesting to see if Blaze maybe pushes a little bit more offensive in regulation. Backside matches: Kyler Larkin, Tyler Knox, Markel Baker, Jacob Van D, Lucas Bird, Julian Farber, Drake against Max Leet.
yeah, Willie, by the way, it's so funny. Shout out Jack Seidel, Blaze, and Davino, because for all the talk this year, I'm very proud that they all ended up AAing.
It's first time ever, right? They put that graphic up on TV.
I didn't see
First
that,
time
but
ever.
all four freshmen in the
All four
semis.
freshmen. Yeah.
I'm very proud of those kids, and that might not be my place to say to be proud of them, but when you're all the talk and you're all the rage and you show up and you maintain that expectation and you wrestle to it, none of those guys got upset. They all locked in All-American status. I think that's incredible. So we're getting it. We're getting it tonight. We're getting the Blaze Davino rubber match. It was 1-1 during the year, and then we're getting Forrest Seidel. One of those freshmen is going to be the 133-pound champ, which I think is incredible. You got a great set of blood round matches. Farber, who I think you were high on, if I recall correctly, when we were making picks. Farber Bird, great match. That's a great match in the blood round.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. You got three Big Ten guys, and they're all favorites. It's interesting that you see a lot of these brackets. The way the brackets fall, you have like two uber studs in one blood round, and then two maybe not. These guys, it fell kind of evenly.
Yeah, and I saw a comment like about Bird and like how he's wrestling. Like, guys, that was what we talked about heading up to the postseason was that we didn't know where Bird was because of his schedule this year, because of his competition.
Yeah.
So I don't think Bird is necessarily just having a bad tournament or a bad postseason. So it'll be interesting to see here if he can lock in All-American status as he goes out that way. Willie, shout out us. I believe we both went 4 for 4 here.
Yes.
Shout out us. Shout out us.
I think 141. I think we went back to back.
All right, let's turn the page to 141. Give us the rundown.
No, I didn't. I took the upset in Nasir Bailey over Vega. That was a horrible choice.
That's right. I went 4 for 4. Jesse Mendez poured it on Vance Vonbauer. Mendez continues his Hodge contending season. I said Stanich late. Just so everybody who didn't watch our stream, let's put it here. I wrote Stanich late. Guess what? Stanich won late. Stanich got a takedown. I think it was about a minute to go. And I believe that the final score was 5-4. Stanich is a dog. Mendez is the obvious favorite against Stanich tonight. But, man, I'm so excited for that match. Luke Stanich is an absolute dog.
He is a dog.
Because he wrestles for Lehigh, and he does, like, if Stanich was in the Big Ten, he would get so much more publicity because he'd be in some of these more high-profile events. But Stanich is going to be awesome. And then down bottom, Brock Hardy doing his thing. He beats Vince Cornella, and he is into the semifinals once again with a 5-3 win. And then Sergio Vega, you had set what?
Nasir Bailey looks good. First 2 rounds, comes out against Vega. It didn't look like he was interested in winning the match. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know how much of it, too. It's like he looked a little fatigued. He looked a little bit like just he didn't have that fire, you know. And I don't know what hand injuries he's dealing with. His hands are all taped up. But it's 1-1 going into the third, I believe. And Vega got a takedown and wins it 4-1. It just didn't seem like Nasir had that fire. It seemed like the second half of that match, it was just like he came out a little bit flat for that match.
None at all. So our semis are Mendez, Stanich. I think everybody's taking Mendez and Hardy Vega, and we saw it twice. I think everybody's going to take Vega, right?
Yeah, I think at this point, I mean, they were pretty solid wins. You know, you can never count Hardy out, but 2 solid wins, you got to go Vega over Hardy.
Listen to the blood round matches. Echemendia against Eli Griffith. Vonbauer, Composto. Composto beat Davis. Nasir Bailey against Wyatt Henson. Vince Cornella against Carter Nogle. Carter Nogle from Mount St. Joe's, I believe, Maryland. He's a Maryland kid. He's young. He's a freshman or sophomore. He quietly took third at Big 12s, and now Air Force youngster in the blood round. Great tournament by him.
Yeah, terrible pick by me. In that bout, 532, that blood round match, I actually have Joey Oliveri beating Vince down there. Rutgers just not having a good day. Gave him a little praise for last night. Rutgers.
Don't be too hard on yourself. He's a 9 seed. He just didn't perform.
Rutgers has nobody in the semis and then just 2 alive. Just 2 remaining in the consies. Yeah. So that is 141 pounds. It's going to be good. Bummer for Braden Davis. Lost 5-2 to Composto. Let's look at the chat real quick. Wrestle Madness. Bash is on fire. This dude's energy is through the roof. I don't have energy. I'm doing it for the people.
Yeah, we're dragging out, guys. We talked about this right before we got on.
Yeah, we're dead, but we owe it to you guys. You guys are tuning in. Time is precious. We appreciate you guys tuning in. So we're trying to give you guys the coverage that these guys competing deserve and that you, the fans, deserve. So, all right, 149 pounds. Shane Van Ness, Casey Swiderski in the final 30 seconds of overtime. The most bananas 30 seconds of the year, in my opinion. Those guys are absolute dogs. Absolute dogs, Willie. That was my
great wrestling.
My favorite finish of the entire year. It's 2-2 going into sudden victory, and with about 40 seconds to go, These guys, in like a UFC bout. I'm drawing a blank because I'm not a big MMA guy. There's a match that happened a couple years ago, or a fight that happened a couple years ago, and with like 30 seconds to go, they just started pummeling the living crap out of each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? They just literally pummeled each other for the final 30 seconds. That is what Van Ness and Casey did. Casey came out as aggressive as possible. Van Ness was staying right in there in that hand fight with him. And Van Ness gets the takedown, and he gets his ankles with like 2 seconds to go. And basically the way he gets it, like Swiderski kind of basically like tripped. Like, he kind of grabbed his ankles. Swiderski falls flat with 2 seconds to go. Van Ness gets the win. An absolute incredible match. I see Penn State fans and Oklahoma State fans going at it on Twitter. I really don't understand why. Both of those guys are absolute warriors. Listen, sometimes it's not that either guy's necessarily stalling, so there's a lot of respect for each other. So I thought Van Ness and Swiderski wrestled one hell of a match. Both deserve a ton of credit for that match.
Yeah, Swiderski wrestled really well. Penn State for all their how good they do and all the hype they get. It's little moments like that, like Luke Lillidahl, Dean Peterson. We didn't spend much time on it, but that was a dogfight. Van Ness Swiderski dogfight. When you talk about Penn State, you often talk about putting up all these bonus, and sometimes Penn State's talented and they're offensive and they put up points, but they're gritty too.
Their conditioning, yeah.
Front.
So Van Ness gets the gritty win. So Van Ness gets a tech, he gets a pin, and then he gets a gritty overtime win against Swiderski. Sets up a match with the 20 seed Chance Lamer, who, that one meme with ladies' earmuffs in the chat. You know that one meme that we normally get for the Lions when I'm drawing a blank on the head coach, Dan Campbell, when they use the meme of him with the nuts in the wheelbarrow? That's Chance Lamer today. Chance Lamer, the 20 seed, making the bottom semis with a 12-0 major over Carter Young, who Carter Young looked awesome. Carter Young beat Biskins 11-4 in the round before that. I thought he looked great. Lamer beat Colin Guy 3-1 the match before that. And then Lamer gets a 12-0 major over Carter Young to advance to the semis. McNeil gets the pin, 11 seed. And then Aiden Valencia takes out Jackson Joy in a dogfight, 12-9. The 149 semis, 1 seed, 20 seed, 11 seed, 10 seed. If that's not symbolic for the chaos of 149, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and listen, I called the Lackland one.
Yep.
If you've been listening to the show, I called it every step of the way. However, I did not, in a gazillion years, see Chance Lamer. Now, if you recall, loyal listeners of the show and crystal ball readers, if you recall, preseason, I was hearing all this great stuff. I was hearing all this great stuff from not only the Nebraska people, but some other people. I'll be honest, Chris Pendleton. I was talking to Chris Pendleton about Chance Lamer, and he was like, "We thought we had him. We were recruiting him out of the portal, and he was very close to coming here." He's like, "I understand, it stinks we lost in Nebraska, but I think he's going to do well there." He's like, "Willie, he's a different person. He's a different person. He's going to do really well." And the Nebraska people told me similar things, that he's doing awesome in the room. And so I had him like the weight is not great, right? So in the beginning of the year, I had him like 6'7" in the crystal ball. And
what'd you have him?
I had 6'7", around that range in the crystal ball. And then he wrestled the match with who is it from Okie State? Who is it from Okie State at 40?
Swiderski.
And he didn't do anything. And I'm starting to wonder, like, man, did these guys tell me wrong? Because he ain't doing crap. And he don't look great. And, he had a terrible Big Tens where he took 10th. And he had a couple moments, like he wrestled Ryder Block decently in the duel. But overall, I'm like, nah, man, this kid ain't got it. And I talking to the Nebraska staff this week, and they're like, Snyder's like, Willie, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. In the room, he is unbeatable. Like you can't beat him. You can't mess with him. He's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it's well, whatever it is. He figured it out because now he didn't beat Dan Gable and John Smith here, but he looks much better than the recent past.
How many for the scorecard? How many did you have right here? I only had two. I had Van Ness and Lachlan.
That's all I had too.
I
I
had
had
two, too.
I
So we're tracking
had
pretty similar. The only difference through the first four weights is I had Vega, you had Bailey.
yeah, I took some reaches. I took rider block.
Yeah.
Um, You know what's as far as the team race, an untalked about or like a story that might get buried is Ethan Styles, a returning All American, Big Ten finalist.
Wasn't lost to Nate Engel.
I was not lost to Nate Angle. Nate Angle taking that, he took that one personally.
So Ethan Styles comes from Oregon State, where Nate Engel is a coach. And after Ethan Styles failed to AA this year for Ohio State, I'm trying to find the tweet that he sent out. It was funny. It was on the lines of like chasing the money doesn't always get you the outcome or something like that.
Hey, it's a ballsy tweet.
Sometimes chasing money doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Da, 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 da.
It's a ballsy tweet, but he ain't wrong. There's a lot of freaking guys that are doing really well in their programs. There's a lot of guys that do really well at one program.
By the way, if
And
somebody leaves your program and you're on tilt, like that shows to me your passion for your guys. Like if somebody offers your guys money and they leave because of that and you're on tilt, I get it. They pour into these kids. I don't think anybody should take offense to that. All right, so Willie, you and I in bout 533, I believe, both have Ryder Block, and he is in that match. We both have Ryder Block All-Americaning for Iowa. You and I both need that win. He's going to face Carter Young tonight. I had him beating Colin Guy in that match. It'll be him and Carter Young. Willishell and Swiderski in 534. Colin Guy and Jackson Joy, a 2 versus a 4 seed in the blood round. And then Frost Wazlewski, Hawkeye Source with a super chat. How about them Hawkeyes, baby? Hawkeye Source, we're giving them all the love. They deserve it. Also, Snooker345 with a $5 super chat. Appreciate the content. Here's a pick-me-up to power you through the next round. Thank you, boys.
pick me up. 157 PJ Duke gets it done over Brandon Cannon, no problem. Robideau and Larkin was a fantastic,
I think
high-octane, entertaining bout.
I think gets it done is a little light. Teching the former number 1 undefeated guy 21-5 in the match that we said that Friday morning quarter against a very tough Brandon Cannon. Watch that match, and he goes out.
Didn't he tech him at Big Tens too, though?
No, he majored him.
He put a lot of points on the board. Robideau over Larkin in a really great one. Ty Waters rallies and beats Meyer Shapiro. Good story for West Virginia getting a semifinalist. Ty Waters at one point ranked number 1 in the country, comes in as the 11th seed. 11 seed's on fire. Ty Waters making the semis. Antrell Taylor had riding time in the third. It was 1-1. Taylor had riding time locked with a minute and 1 second, and gets a takedown and seals it. So Taylor, Waters, Duke, Robideau, your semifinals.
By the way, that Ty Waters match, I believe he won it late too, right? I remember it was 5-5. I can't remember, but I think it was like a very gutsy win for Waters. Great win.
It was late. It was later.
Yeah. And Antrell, too. Great win for Antrell Taylor. Blood round at 157. We got Cam Catchment of Michigan versus Larkin, the 15-4. Jude Swisher versus Brandon Cannon. Very intriguing matchup. Owen Webster, and then Cardenas Shapiro.
Oh, you were right. You said Owen Webster, and I was like, what? You said Owen Webster. Like Owen Webster wrestles 184 for Minnesota, like
Oh,
3 years ago.
Owen
It
versus
is
Webster.
High Owen, the Fighting Pritz laughs
And
against
then
Webster.
Cardenas
Cardenas
Shapiro.
Shapiro!
Cardenas Shapiro. By the way, big match for Stanford. Again, they might not be able to creep up to be a podium team this year, but when you talk NDI, a big match there for Cardenas and Cornell definitely having a down year. Cornell is in 18th place with 18 points. Only 4 survived through the consies into the blood round at this point.
Yeah, Cornell really rough go with Joy Shapiro, uh, Simon Ruiz, all coming up on the short end. They're in 18th. I mean, they're behind Columbia, Wyoming, Indiana.
Columbia, by the way, Willie, I got to give you 2 quick points of praise here. Number one, who did you say this morning should be in contention for Coach of the Year? Just up there. You didn't say give it to him, but who did you say before this round should have their name floated around?
Donnie Pritzlaff.
And now getting a semifinalist, what he's doing there is awesome.
I don't know if I said it on the show or in a text thread. I know when I said it. I said it last night when there's a challenge going on. Alvin pins D, and they're reviewing it. And I said, if this review holds, and it will, Alvin's going to make the semis because he's going to beat Ruiz.
You did.
Boom. Nailed it.
I think you said it on today's show, too. I think you said that this morning that you liked Alvin there. So shout out Columbia. Also, going back to 133 for a second. Final, I guess you can take one more victory lap if Jax wins the whole thing. But with Jax locking in All-American status, I think we've officially surpassed was it a right or wrong move to wrestle Jax? Listen, he locked in AA status as a true freshman. He went undefeated to lock in All-American. I don't care what happens tonight or tomorrow. Wrestling Jax was the right move. If as a true freshman you go undefeated into All-Americaning, that was the right move. I had said on previous show, somebody commented, or a couple comments, like, what's the bar for Jax's season, or this being a mistake, wrestling Jax? And I said AA. If he doesn't All-American, it might have been a mistake. He locked in All-American. Willie was right. All right, let's go to 165 pounds. Give us the rundown.
Mesenbrink over Hepner in a really weird match. It's the only match Mesenbrink has not bonused in. The first one all year. And
it's like a WWE match.
He was sort of like in control the whole time. There was just a whole lot of scrambles and just didn't turn into points. Hepner got hurt. It looked like he was getting taken off on a stretcher. Then he continued, and I don't know.
It didn't just look like he was getting on a stretcher. A stretcher came out to the mats. This never happens. A stretcher came all the way out into the mat to take him off, and he gets up, and I don't understand why Mesenbrink didn't have choice. I'm assuming some people are saying that Hepner went into concussion protocol, and because of concussion protocol, that's why it wasn't. And Mesenbrink seemed like he was a bit upset after the match. I didn't see it because there was so much going on. I'm assuming it was that. I'm assuming maybe he was trying to figure that out, because there were people also saying if injury time was used up, how does that happen? But if it went from injury time to concussion protocol, then that would explain why.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was really odd that he laid there like he was seriously injured, and then 30 seconds later it was good to go. Maybe it was a stinger. He kind of landed. I don't know.
I will also say I'd like to make a public declaration. Mesenbrink no longer what?
Declare.
Mesenbrink no longer 100% bonus on the year. Josh Barr, the lone warrior, with 100% bonus. If Josh Barr goes tonight and tomorrow night with bonus, he's going to be my Hodge candidate. If he is the first person ever, I don't care if he didn't start the season until December 20th. He started the season 1 month late. He still had a good amount of matches. If he goes 100%, if he goes 100% bonus, it's going to be hard pressed for me not to say he deserves the Hodge. If you dominate 197 pounds with 100% bonus the entire season, I'm going to be very hard pressed not to say give Bar the Hodge.
Will be a strong candidate. But what if like Mendez like pins Vega or something?
He'll be. I think at this point it's Mendez Bar.
I don't even want to talk about it until it's over.
Yeah, I agree, but I'd like to publicly declare that Josh Barr is up there with me. All right, so
listen, I would like to publicly declare that just because
I do declare.
Just because Mesenbrink had one weird win and now does not
agreed. I agree. You're right.
99.95. I still think he's squarely in the mix.
Time out. Seconded.
Mesenbrink, Alvin in one of the most lopsided semifinals you ever see as far as on paper. Caliendo beat Parco. Blaze beat Will Denny. We'll have Caliendo Blaze round 2 in the bottom half semi. Our blood round matchups are Max Brignola and Nico Ruiz, Ryder Downey and Bryce Hepner. Sparks versus Denny. Sparks beat Lockett 9-3. Patty
10-3.
Gallagher 10-3. Patty Gallagher versus Parco. Those are your blood round bouts.
D Lockett not AAing. I'll be honest. I did not have that on my bingo card. Did not have it on my bracket. I had D on my bracket taking third. And I'm sure we'll dive into that more over the coming weeks, and we'll talk about that. Willie, real quick, scorecard. How many did you have at 57? I forgot to log it. I had Duke, Robideau, and Taylor, so I had 3.
I had 3. I missed Ty Waters.
Yep, same. And what'd you have at 65? I had Mesenbrink. That was correct. I had D. That was wrong. And Caliendo Blaze. I had 3 again.
I had 3.
All right. 174 pounds.
Yeah, Levi Haynes over Mantanona. Looked good doing it. Kennedy, Edge, Karchla. Now Karchla drops down to a tough one. Who's he have? He has
Karchla lost.
Simon Ruiz. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Karchla lost. He drops down to Simon Ruiz.
Yeah, sorry.
Big match.
Again, a 2 versus a 4. Another 2 versus a 4 in the blood round. Wild. Loser does not All-American. Loser goes home.
Wow. Second 2 versus 4 in blood round. Minto looked really good against Katana. Not sure what the final score was, but he looked pretty good. Minto looked pretty good.
He majored him 11-3.
Yeah.
Looked very good.
Looked very good. Steed over Wask, so it'll be Minto and Steed, Haynes and Kennedy, your semifinalists. Simon Ruiz, Karchla, blood round. Singleton against Mantanona, blood round. Carter Schubert against Danny Wask. And Colin Kelly beat Alex Facundo, and we'll have Gatan in the blood round.
Yeah, that Facundo Kelly match, man, was wild ending. I thought Facundo was going to get it, so Facundo falls short. So Oklahoma State with those two losing those back to back, a match before the blood round with D and Facundo both going down. And Pinto.
Yeah, and by the way, the D, and I'm bringing this up because at 65 and 84, there's two major exchanges in the backside that have a lot of team race implications, and Oklahoma State. So if you look at the team scores now, Penn State's way ahead of everybody. Nebraska and Okie State are in a dogfight. I think Nebraska leads by 1.5. And then the 4-5, Iowa and Ohio State are in a dogfight. It looks to me like Iowa's going to edge them. But Nebraska, Oklahoma State are really in a dogfight for second. There was a a situation at 65 backside, a situation at 84 coming up backside, and both of them are going Oklahoma State's way. D in overtime beat LJ Arajo. He beat him in the duel in overtime. He beat him here in overtime. Really tight match. And then Zach Ryder. Zach Ryder was in a dogfight. I think the score was tied with Jaden Bullock. And Ryder, really gutsy performance, gets the – well, I said gutsy performance, but I don't know what the hell Bullock was doing, trying for a throw. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're an eighth-year senior. I mean, just unforced error, in my opinion. Yeah. So, but in doing that, in winning that match, it was almost like he's winning two, because all indications are all red. He's going to get all red in the blood round, and that's going to be a forfeit, I think.
I think Ryder, I was going to get there when we get to 84. I think all red, who I'm so proud of, or Ryder, sorry. I think Ryder locked up All-American status, which, again, I'm so happy for him. I told you. I picked it, and I was going to talk about it at 84. I literally have Ryder over all red in that 550 bout. I wish it wasn't because all red got hurt. But I did have Ryder over Bullock in 499 and Ryder over Allred in 550. But for Allred as senior to go out with a broken ankle, somebody texted me that you could literally hear a snap, and I'm like, that sucks. That's the worst way.
On it. I didn't get official word, but there was a Nebraska fan or two saying, hey, I think it's broken. The word around the campfire is that it's broken. Now, I don't know if that's true, but
Steven, Andrew, round of 12. Did I say round of 12 or did Willie say round of 12? Because somebody said that earlier, that somebody said round of 12. I think we accidentally said round of 12 somewhere. I don't know. Whatever.
What about what?
I don't know. Steven said round of 12. But somebody else earlier said that we accidentally said, please tell me where there's round of 12. I think we misspoke. Disco
round of 12. It's the blood round.
Yeah, Disco Biscuit says Bash. Thanks.
Blood round means for top 12, guys.
Okay, so that's round of 12. There you go. That's the explanation then. I thought instead of round of 16, we might have said round of 12. Disco Biscuit, Bash, thanks for teaching me a new word in All-Americaning. You're welcome. Super proud of Ryder. Sounds like he's going to All-American. Again, I feel terrible for All Red. You never want to see somebody like that.
It's insult to injury because, again, you're a returning All-American. It's your senior year. You break your ankle. Not only are you you're not going to AA, but the blood round match is with Oklahoma State, and it could very, very well be the difference in second and third. And it's not like it's an injury. It's broken. I mean, you can't even. It's not like something you can fight through. You just can't. You can't walk.
Adam Fellers in the chat says blood round equals 12, idiots. Thank you, Fellers. OSU Wrestling Brad with a $4.99 super chat. DT and Ward were going crazy in the corner for that takedown and sudden victory. Ryder is the definition of a junkyard dog. All-time feel-good moment. I agree. I texted Zach right after that match. I'll tell you verbatim what I said to Zach. I said, fighting, period. All heart, period. All grit, period. Proud of you.
Well, I'm sure that the Oklahoma State staff was very aware of
All Red situation. Yeah,
and they knew by winning that they were winning two and getting the monster points that come along with getting AA. So it's a tremendous differential. Okay, that's
174 pounds. Let's go to 184. Rocco Welch beats All Red. I think he was up pretty big when the injury happened. He gets the win there. Mantanona pins Saldano in the quarter below that. Max McAnally beats Nietenbach 8-6. And Ferrari over Sinclair in overtime 4-1. I saw Hawkeye. What's that?
7-1. Welsh was up 7-1 when
7-1. Okay. Ferrari gets the takedown and sudden victory. Out-scrambled Sinclair. Out-scrambled Sinclair. Gets the takedown. Gets the 4-1 win. And I'm not sure if it was a direct quote. I'm assuming it was. Our friend in the chat, Hawkeye Source, put out a graphic. Let me pull it up because I don't want to misquote what I believe Angelo Ferrari said. You can get to my legs all day. You ain't effing scoring. Hell nah. So Ferrari's very proud of his defense, and he should be. I mean, I said it with the Ferrari Rocco match.
Has he been taken down this year?
No, I do not believe so. And I said it with the Rocco Ferrari match. You guys might think it's boring when a 1-1, 2-2 match was in overtime, and I understand that. But like Rocco's and Angelo's defense is bar none. It's incredible. And I know Rocco's given up a couple takedowns, but like both of their defenses in those matches, they've wrestled for like 21, 22, whatever combined minutes. Neither have given up a takedown to each other. Super intrigued tonight. We get Rocco and Brock Mentonona in the upper semi, and then Max Miccanelli, Angelo Ferrari in the bottom semi.
Yeah, hey, Niederbach wrestled Max pretty tough.
Yep.
He took him down. It was 2 takedowns to 1. We know how difficult it is to take Max down. So Max Ferrari tonight. And, one preview show segment that we did was the all feel good team, guys that we, not rooting for necessarily, but guys that we would be happy to see have a good tournament, good performance. I'll tell you what, the Blood Rounders at 184 are a segment into itself on feel good. Listen, you have Campos, a absolute nobody recruit from PA that just won an EIWA title. He's in the Blood Round against Brian Soldano, which is like total redemption story. Had a really good true freshman year, ends up leaving Rutgers, has a rough year. He's injured, all kinds of things going on. He's a senior. He's in the Blood Round against Campos. Either one there, you'd love to see him have a get on the podium. Zach Ryder, obviously, you can't, there's a lot of people rooting for Zach. Talented freshman, had a rough year, a lot of injuries, arms just hanging on by a thread. He's maybe going to get a forfeit against Allred. James Conway, Franklin and Marshall. You'd love to see those small school programs get on the podium.
By the way, Willie, what's this seed matchup?
Is that 2-4? Oh, my God.
Again, a 2-4 in the Blood Round. That's number 3 for those keeping track at home with James Conway versus Aiden Sinclair.
And you know what's so weird about it is what's even weirder about it is that that's the third 2-4 in the Blood Round. Okay, I was going to say they're all 3 in different spots, but 2 of them, this one and Guy and Joy are in the same spot. The other one is in a different spot. Crazy how those brackets fall like that. And then another feel-good one. Rylan Rogers, sort of a blue chip recruit or like right on the cusp of blue chip recruit, goes to Michigan. Doesn't work out. He's all over the place in weight classes, 197, 184. He wrestled 174 last year for Lehigh. And he's one of those kids that was like, oh, man, he was a high school star. He's not quite what we thought he was going to become, in college. But he's on the cusp of the podium. And he got Nietenbach, who's from Wyoming. You love to see Wyoming get
Wyoming having a good tournament. We were talking about it earlier before the show when we were just FaceTiming. Like, they're having a really good tournament. Or a good round, at least.
There's going to be a lot of cheers and a lot of heartache. Blood Round 184. 197, Josh Barr.
Hold on, real quick. How many did you have for 174 for the scorecard?
174. I had 3 of the 4. I did not have Kennedy. I had Karchla.
I had all 4. I went 4 for 4. Levi, PK, Minto, Steed.
Did you have Steed over Wasp or Steed over Ruiz?
Steed over Ruiz. I thought Ruiz would beat Wasp, but then Steed would beat Ruiz. So I went 4 for 4 there. And then at 184, I went Rocco, Brock, Max, Sinclair. So I went 3 for 4. What'd you do at 184?
I did the exact same thing.
Yep. All right.
197. Josh Barr over Posada, Novak, and Colton Hawks. Unlikely Cinderella run. So Barr, Novak up top. Interestingly enough, they dueled this year, and Barr did not wrestle. Remember that was Connor Marisola wrestled in that duel, not Barr, so we didn't see it. Stephen Little over McDaniel, Camden McDaniel in OT, and Little got hit with Cam McDaniel's in on a takedown attempt, and Little kind of hops to the edge, and they call him for a second stalling on it. Forces OT, and Little could have gotten flustered or down in the dumps. He didn't. Right off the whistle, he shoots a takedown and scores it. So good job by Stephen Little. Now a 3-time All-American for Little Rock. Cody Merrill over Remy
Is
Cotton.
that
So our
Willie? Is
our
that
Barr, Novak, Little Merrill.
a couple nuggets? Number one, is that Little Rock's first semifinalist?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
think Bailey or Williams made a semifinal, right?
No, Williams definitely didn't.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think if this is Little Rock's first semifinalist.
Nasir might have been, but I don't know. They also had Bianchi AA. I don't think he went via the ask Keith. Ask Chief Keith.
Can somebody in the chat let us know if that's Little Rock's first semifinalist? Also, Cornell Kevin in the chat, our dear friend Cornell Kevin, he's in shambles with Cornell's performance. He says he misses Cole right now. He said Cornell's had 3 All-Americans every year since 2003. That is in serious jeopardy right now.
Willie, I know you didn't take any painkillers, but how many dips have you thrown in? I've been dipping all day, every day since the 90s.
Jay Hill, hold on. Jay Hill said, who you got in the bottom 184 semis? I had initially Max and Sinclair, with Max going to the finals. I'm going to go Max over Ferrari. I don't have a lot of rationale other than I think that Max is going to grit out a single takedown. And if Max gets a takedown, I just worry about Ferrari getting to his offense. So Ferrari can absolutely win it, but I think it's going to be Max.
I don't know. How the hell do you take down Ferrari?
I know. I don't know how anybody does.
Ferrari.
Yeah,
Give me Ferrari. I don't know how. I don't know why.
I'm just sticking with. I got Max in the finals, so I'm just sticking with that. But I don't know at this point how anybody takes down Angelo. That's what we got. So 197 in the blood round. So 197 has Barr Novak up top. That's going to be a fun match. Little Merrill at the bottom side. In the blood round, we got Branson John of Maryland against Colton Hawks, a 16.
Hey, Branson John is a bash in the brain special. We talk about him all the time. And what does he do? He beats All-American, maxed out to make the blood round. Now he has 29 seed Colton Hawks. And
hold on, Fellers says, ain't no way, Bash. You can't shoot on him on his knee. Rocco and Angelo finals. Winner gets a new tattoo donation. You're not wrong. I don't know how anybody scores on Ferrari. I don't. I just worry that his lack of getting to his offense might hurt him. By the way, I'm not even saying that Max is going to get a takedown. What if Max wins 2-1? Y'all are assuming Max has to get a takedown to win it. I'm not. Which is how Rocco beat him. So we got Branson John, Colton Hawks, a 16 versus 29 for a blood round. Awesome story there.
16-29. One of those guys are going to
awesome.
Be an AA.
So happy for whoever wins that match. Luke Giog, Angelo Posada, fun one below that. With this Bash in the Brain special, Angelo Posada. All year we've been high in Posada. I'll be honest, I'm rooting for him to get All-American there.
One more for Gabe Arnold.
Gabe freaking Arnold, Remy Cotton for All-American status. Gabe Arnold, the unlikely story. Gabe Arnold outlasting Justin Rademacher. Not on my bingo card, but I think it was what I have. I had Rademacher outlasting Arnold on my bingo card, my bracket. So I did not have Arnold outlasting Rademacher. I'm very proud of Arnold. That kid is showing no freaking quit. I am rooting for Arnold. Here again, we said 16-29 seed in that first blood round match. Here's another one, 27-15. Awesome at both these guys. Gabe Arnold takes out Lawrence 7-1, takes out Solers 5-4. Late takedown to get that 5-4 win. What's the chat saying? The chat's making you laugh?
Somebody said Felter's facts. I love Felter's facts. I love fodder and I love Felter's facts. And Gabe Arnold is one match away. He needs to beat Remy Cotton, Cam
Let's
McDaniel.
go, Gabe.
How about
Can I? Willie,
Brown?
Yeah.
How about Brown having a guy in the blood round? Andrew Reel, straight out of Rhode Island, in the blood round against McDaniel.
Can I make it? I gotta be careful. You can't do NIL based on performance. So I'm not, public declaration, I'm not going to reward Gabe for All-American status because you can't reward for All-Americaning. I would like to buy Gabe Arnold a round of wings. Can somebody send me Gabe Arnold's Venmo? I'm going to send him
what we could do
a round of chicken wings.
His dad, all the time, cooks a feast for the wrestlers. Maybe what we do is we send some Snake Rivers Farms or Wild Fork to Phil Arnold, and he has a feast for the boys.
Can somebody make that connection happen? Because we want to.
I can text his dad right now. Hey,
so that's the blood round at 197 pounds.
I only had two right. I had Barr and Novak. I had Rademacher and Elam in the bottom half.
I got destroyed. I had one here. I had Barr versus Sasso, nah. Rademacher versus Elam, nah. So that's unfortunate. Also, I feel bad for Elam. He drops down and just that match with John. He just, not to take away anything from Branson John, but he beats Rocky 11-4. Rocky just an absolute shell of himself. I feel bad he's not going to get on the podium his final season. That sucks.
I will not buy Gabe a Bud Heavy because here's the thing. He's wrestling 97. We need him at 74 next year, guys. We need him lean and mean.
We'll buy him like a green drink, a green smoothie.
We can do that.
Okay.
285. Younger Bastida beats Ben Keeter. I thought, honestly, in a loss, I thought Ben moved as well as he's moved in quite some time. I just think Younger's bigger, more experienced.
Listen, younger Bastida is dominating people. Younger Bastida is leaving a trail of destruction in his path. In 27 matches this year, he's got 74% of those won by bonus. And Keeter wrestles him to a 4-2 match, and Keeter was in it until the end. That was a one takedown. If Keeter could have got a takedown towards the end, he would have gotten an upset there. So I thought Keeter has wrestled an awesome tournament. Gets a close, gritty win in the first round, 2-0. Beats Marisola 4-0 in the next round, and then loses a tight 4-2 match to the number one guy in the country. So I thought awesome performance by Keeter, who is now going to drop down and wrestle Braxton Amos in the blood round. But awesome wrestling by Keeter there.
So he has AJ. AJ beat Juan Mora. That's a really good. There's a lot of people with the hunch that Ferrari beats Younger. I didn't pick it. I picked Younger. But it's really interesting. Really interesting. Semi up top. Down below, Tay beat Hunter Kaka. Trumbull beat Doucette. So Tay and Trumbull and your top four seeds, all chalk, all advance. I had all four right. What did you have?
Yeah, we both had all four. We both went chalk here. We both had the 1 versus the 4, the 3 versus the 2. I got Younger over Isaac in the finals, and to be honest, I'm losing confidence in that. I thought, not to take anything away from Keeter, but I thought AJ wrestled smarter and better than Younger did. And they were both close matches. Ferrari only beat Mora 4-3. Bastida only beat Keeter 4-2. But AJ is just so sound on his baseline stuff. I think AJ gets the win here. My bracket is what it is. It's written. I can't change it. I have Younger and Isaac in the finals, but if I could change it, I'd probably go AJ here based on how they're wrestling. And then Tay, Isaac, both are looking great. And the blood round tonight, Zuba versus Mora. Again, a 10 versus a 21. Amos versus Keeter. Pitzer Doucette, Carol Katka. Carol Katka, by the way, an 18-27. Awesome performance by Christian Carroll to bounce back. He beats Marisol at 9-6. I'm super bummed for Cole. I really wanted Cole to AA. But gritty, awesome win for Christian Carroll. You bounce back, and Willie, you had kind of said it, like, so Christian Carroll goes down in the first round, and after his Big 12 performance, you weren't too bullish on Carroll. And
It wasn't.
I think at this point, if you lose in the first round and then you rebound with, 2 straight wins now? 3 straight wins in the consies, that shows grit. And Wyoming's slowly having a good session here. So awesome match set up there between Carroll and Katka.
Yep. Zuba over Colbert, so it'll be Zuba and Mora. Who's Keeter have?
Keeter has Braxton Amos, who just majored Coy Hopke 13-1. I thought he had him pinned. Hopke was like flat on his back.
Keeter Amos. That was a Keeter win, close. I think overtime in the duel.
And Amos looks good on the backside. 3 straight majors. He majored Jarrett Stoner 9-0. He majored Dawson 11-1. He majored Coy Hopke 13-1. So Amos is not going down without a fight.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Close in the duel. Pitzer beat a very injured Feldman. It'll be Pitzer Doucette. Carol beats Marisola. Carol Kaka. That is your blood round at 285. Let's get in. Now let's just a quick hitter here. Let's go get into some odds, buddy. I'm really excited to look at these odds. Put them on a screen.
All right, let me pull them up. Do. Bet online. So these odds are from betonline.ag. Luke Lillidahl minus 350 over. Somebody remind me of the time. I got to put him for the timestamp. 1:11:10. 11:11:11. Troy Spratley plus 285. That might be a little light. Luke Lillidahl minus 350 against Spratley. With how Spratley's wrestling, it's a little heavy. That might be line movement towards Luke because Spratley's wrestling really good. I feel like this should be like.
Man, that's a lot of money for a match that's almost certainly to come down to a one exchange.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I'm picking Luke, but almost plus three times your money. I like that. Miranda McGowan about even. Jax Forrest minus 365 with Seidel. Man, that was a 10-9 match where Seidel won the takedown battle. I think there's value there if you have a little hunt. Seidel could do it. Put it on. Blaze and Davino just about even. Mendez a giant 2,000.
Given the odds for the audio listeners, just about even. Marcus Blaze minus 120, Ben Davino plus 100, Mendez minus 2,000, Stanich plus 1,000, Brock Hardy plus 185, Sergio Vega a 2-1 favorite minus 220, Shane Van Ness minus 650 over Chance Lamer, Lachlan Aiden a betting toss-up, Lachlan minus 115, Aiden minus 105, PJ Duke minus 900, Robideau plus 600, Ty Waters plus 185. Ty Waters plus 185. Antrell Taylor minus 220. How do you feel about that one?
I think it's about right. I wouldn't touch it.
Mitchell Mesenbrink minus 4,000 against Caesar Salad. Plus 1,600 for Caesar. Mikey Caliendo minus 129. Joey Blaze plus 109. All things considered, pretty even there. Levi Haynes, just a 33-1 favorite, minus 3,300 against Patrick Kennedy, Patrick Diesel. Chris Minto, minus 173. Cam Steed, plus 148. Rocco Welch, an 8-1 favorite, minus 800 over Brock Mantanona. Max Mickinelli.
Wait. What's Mantanona getting?
Plus 550.
Plus 550? That's too much. I would put a little on Mantanona. I mean, that was a dogfight at Big Tens.
Max McAnally, plus 115. Angelo Ferrari, the betting favorite, minus 135 for this match tonight.
Yeah.
Josh Barr minus 1,800. Joey Novak plus 900. Stephen Little plus 155. Cody Merrill almost a 2-1 favorite to
Man,
win that one.
almost a 2-1 favorite.
Minus 180. Again, we said it in the show this morning. The powerhouse programs, the big power programs, are seeing more money in those guys, which definitely move the lines more in those guys' favor.
Oh,
Younger,
look, there's 24 seconds. There's a countdown clock on there. I think these are going to go off.
that's 46 minutes. So these are up to
Dude.
1 hour before they go off. So you have till 7 p.m. Eastern to bet these. AJ Ferrari plus 153. Younger Bastida minus 178. Tate Gadali minus 115. Isaac Trumbull minus 105. A coin toss betting favorite there. Very interesting.
Oh, I can only see the seconds. I can't see the minutes.
Oh, sorry. Let me see. Can I zoom?
No, it doesn't matter. I just thought we were running out of time for people to bet. I don't like a whole heck of a lot of the semis. I mean, they're the semis, right? So they're
Yeah, this is where I stopped betting. To be honest, I went 1-1 in the quarters. I won with who did I win with? I won with Davino. I lost with Seymour. So, but this is where it just gets tough. This is where you're just betting the guys you like, and that's fine. Have some fun. If you're rooting for somebody, you want to throw some money on them. But it's definitely like at this point, the semis and the finals. I might bet the finals, but yeah, the semis I'm just rooting for guys and having fun. But this is that's betonline.ag to bet the semis. The semis kick off. We got a little bit of time, friends. The semis do not kick off until 8 p.m. Eastern. It is currently 6:15 p.m. Eastern. I need to tally. So let's see. So we were both 1-1, 4-4, 4-3. So I got 1 on you there. 2-2, 3-3, 3-3, 4-3. I got 1 on you there. 3-3, 4-4, 4-4. So my lead goes up 2.
You're up
So
2?
I'm up 4 on you total. I was up 2 after the quarters, 2 more after the finals. I'm up 4.
You're up 4.
I'm up 4. So we'll see. Chat, anything else? Any questions before we let you go? We will not be live. Willie and I will be asleep. No disrespect to the heavyweights because we love the heavyweights. But we will probably both be falling asleep as the semis come to a close tonight. But we will be live at, what do you think, 9 or 10 tomorrow?
What time does wrestling start?
Medal round, I believe, is at 11.
Oh, yeah, the 9.
All right, so we'll be live at 9 a.m. tomorrow to recap the semis, recap the blood round, preview the finals, and preview the medal round. Taylor Venus, thoughts on the team race?
My thoughts on the team race is I think Nebraska is ahead. Penn State's obviously going to win. Nebraska is ahead by 1.5 over Oklahoma State, and where are they? You erased them. You bum.
Penn State 105.5, Nebraska 66, Oklahoma 64.5.
I know, but what I'm looking for is
here, hold on.
I got him.
There you go, my friend.
Tweet. Penn State has 8 on the front side, 0 on the back. Nebraska and Oklahoma State separated by 1.5. Both of them have 5 on the front side, 3 in the back side. However, Ryder is probably going to get a forfeit over Allred, which means which means Nebraska's not scoring any more points at 84. Ryder's going to get a massive freebie. Oklahoma State's going to get a massive freebie for placing points and the ability to move up from 8th. You win in the blood round, you get guaranteed 8th place points. You win another one, you can, Ryder has that opportunity. Nebraska doesn't. So as it stands, they have a 1.5 lead, but they're probably really 5 points down.
Taylor Venus is hopefully that headgear toss doesn't change the outcome. I do think he's referring to. I think Oklahoma State might have lost a point with D. Lockett after his loss.
Well,
after his frontside loss.
Don't freaking start that.
What?
Don't start. Oh well, we took second because D threw his headgear. You're getting a free All-American out of the deal.
Well, Two things. Number one, let's not use the term free All-American. Ryder earned every bit
Oh,
of the
come
All-American. But I agree with you. I'm just saying, let's not use the term free All-American. Ryder's wrestling with one freaking arm.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go a little easy on the free All-American talk there. But I agree with you. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
That
you
is
can't.
a giant gift.
Correct. To the degree of you don't have to wrestle a blood round match in exchange for giving up a headgear toss point.
Yes. You don't have to
That's-
wrestle.
Yeah.
So I think, and Nebraska's, I don't know. My gut right now is that Oklahoma State passes Nebraska. I think Penn State's number one. I think Oklahoma State will ultimately finish runners up, and I think Nebraska will finish third. I do not think that Iowa can catch either Okie State or Nebraska. They have a 6.5 point lead. Iowa does. Iowa has a 6.5 point lead and more guys alive than Ohio State.
Let's check Matt Savant. I just pulled up Matt Savant on the screen. Matt Savant has projected Penn State 181, Oklahoma State 110, Nebraska 107, Iowa 89, Ohio State 73. That is Matt Savant's current predicted top five.
And that's what I just said. I said the same exact thing. Penn State, Okie State, Nebraska, Iowa. And it was just – and in Crystal Ball, I had Penn State, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Nebraska. So I had them in order, but you could not see this Ohio State. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for Ohio State.
Yeah, and Eric Scarborough, 1386 to that point, said Bash in the Brain, thoughts on Wisconsin's tournament. It's a little bit early for us. Give us time to digest the brackets. Give us time to digest the back end, and then we'll probably be a bit more apt to discuss individual teams' performances. You know, it's so hard keeping up with everything that it's hard seeing every school's performance in a lens of that school. So give us time, and we will dive in on a show over the next week to Rutgers, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa State. We'll dive in individually to teams. We just have not been able to digest. We're trying to keep up. Ancient Cowboy Mike wants to know how many guys graduate from Nebraska.
How many guys graduate from Nebraska? Brock Hardy at 141.
Already?
Yeah. Chance Lamer at 149. Silas Allred at 184. 3.
So, all things considered, not that much. All right, guys, that is the Bash in the Brain quarterfinals recap and semis preview. We will be back live. What's the screen time for you, Bash? I don't know what he's asking. What's the screen time for you, Bash? What are you asking, Hawkeye Source? That is today's show. We will be back at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow to recap. By the way, just a heads up, 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, we will probably go live, obviously, to recap this. And then I don't think we'll go live after the medal rounds. We will then be live Sunday or Monday morning, TBD, Sunday or Monday morning to recap the tournament. And then we'll probably go live again after that, because then we can dive into individual schools and all of that. One guy's opinion in the chat, not many graduated from Nebraska. I see what he did there.
All right, boys, have yourself a night.
Let's have our, I can't even talk. I'm so freaking tired. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, comment, like, rockfin.com/MadScouts for all of Willie's content. Baschamania.com/brackets for brackets. Go Bills. God bless. Do good.